or at least this is.
So that's on. Okay. Yeah, no, we're live. We're up and rolling. Moto Monday number 101. And in the house, Aaron Macdonald. What's going on, man?
Not much.
Hanging out. Long time no see.
Yeah, but Saturday,
Yeah, it's been a solid 2 days. You know,
day and a half, something like
day
that.
and a half. I don't, dude. I'm like, and I think I've accepted. I did hit my head.
Well, the back of your helmet's got kinds of white marks. Like, I would assume that it hit you.
I didn't really think I hit my head at all at the time, though. I was too concerned about how much my back hurt.
Yeah, you weren't getting up very fast.
Oh no, that one stung. But afterwards, I might have hit my head a little, and then I saw the helmet. Like, was it you that showed me the helmet?
Yeah, I walked back across the track with
like, okay, maybe.
you. You weren't moving very fast.
Yeah, that one stung a little. Damn pit bikes, man.
Through the chain again. At least it stayed on this time.
It did stay on, and I was giving, Zach Squatch a hard time because he's my mechanic. But then I realized, yeah, mostly just, I'm messing. It's pit bike. You never know what's going to happen. I don't actually blame him. I was like, oh, I bought this bike a week ago. I don't even know what kind of chains on it. Like, who knows? So
You didn't even make it out of the parking lot. We're all kind of hanging out before the chain broke.
no, that's the other bike.
Oh, you brought two of them?
I brought 2 bikes.
Oh,
That
okay.
one broke the master link off.
Oh.
But it had already thrown the chain twice. And I didn't ask. I think he put the old chain back on. So it's probably been stretched pretty good. So
Yeah, whoever was there helping us, I didn't catch his name. Whoever was there helping us, I picked up the back of the bike and he spun the chain back on and then rode it back to the truck.
yes, on the that was the second one. The first one immediately broke the master link off. I think it was just been stretched too much. It was done. The other bike I just bought like a week ago. We haven't even changed the oil yet. So, like, we haven't done really anything other than just a few basics, make sure it works. And
Stop and go in the parking lot.
yeah, well, actually, no, we were thrashing on the track, to be honest. But yeah, apparently had a cheap chain on it. I'm guessing I took a digger.
Yeah,
just like I guess I did a full handstand before I let go.
When I got to you, the first thing you said is, "Man, that was a giant rock." I was so mad I threw it, and then you were looking for it, and it was like 10 feet away.
Apparently, I didn't really throw it.
No,
actually, we need to bring the rock on here.
There it is, next to your dog. The infamous rock that took Justin out.
Its name?
Asshole Charlie. My other rock is Charlie. This one's Asshole Charlie. We can do Mother Effort Charlie. Is that what I said earlier?
I think so, maybe.
Okay, we can name it that too. I don't like that Charlie. I have another rock named Charlie that is a good rock. This one, not so much. So yeah. So enough about me crashing pit bikes though. It's not anything new. Just I'm moving a little slow. So sorry if this is a shorter episode, guys. Aaron, you were out helping me with the riding clinic though. Is that? It's the second one?
Yeah, second one. The first one we did with Krista.
Yes, and Krista was rad. Herding all those kids.
Yes.
So
yeah, she crowded all the kids, got them, kind of ran that thing a lot better than I could kind of wing that one. But this one was people.
And this one was a little lighter, but it was rad, and we had a lot of real newbies.
Yeah,
especially the last person.
That last person showed up way late in the parking lot, and first bike was, what do you say, 16 YZ250 that he had got?
It was like a 15 or 16.
16 YZ250 two-stroke first bike. You see his helmet?
Yeah, mountain bike helmet.
Mountain bike helmet.
Yeah, I guess he's ridden some downhill.
Oh,
so he just grabbed his mountain bike helmet, and I think that was his mountain bike gear. And I'm like, wait. So you've literally never ridden? He's like, no, I don't even know how to start it. Like, oh boy. Okay, so I'm trying to, okay, it's like, okay, so thankfully we're about done.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't quite time for the awards party yet. And like,
the parking lot was clear.
Parking lot was pretty clear. I was like, okay, so do you realize what you bought? Like, what do you mean? All right. So do you know anything about cars? Like, a bit. Okay. So I'd say the car equivalent is you just picked up a 98 Civic hatchback with an LS swap.
He understood that.
He's like, oh, like, yeah, oh. I wouldn't want to race a YZ250. I mean, I could hold on for a lap or two. Once I start getting arm pump, things are going to get hairy.
Yeah. Well, and when my son and I, Jack, were leaving, we had a quick chat about that. We never raced together. 250. I've ridden them and I've raced them, but you and I never. We always raced 125s and 80.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on 125s. They're fun. And then we're at 254 stroke.
Yeah.
Never really raced the 252 strokes. I mean, I have one pieces, but
So
it's just not my favorite bike to ride, dude. I mean, it's fun for a bit, but they're just it's not my style, and they can be a handful.
Yeah, I broke my leg on down in 2001 at Sand Dune. I got in a quad. I had a KX 250, and that's what bike that I had before that. Well, the first 250 I rode 90. Dad had, and growing up with my dad.
Yeah, I should introduce you real quick. So your dad's been on the show, Bill Macdonald. We've had him as a call-in guest, an in-person, in-studio guest, and at least once or twice.
He's only been here.
I think the once they needed a call-in.
I don't know.
And he's with the old timers, Oregon old timers. We don't need to go through all that what he's done. But you've been, I mean, I've known you forever, man.
I tried to work at Moto Outfit.
You did?
Yeah.
When was this?
You guys had the
so the original one before I brought it back for a small stint. Okay.
Yeah, your dad.
When I was like 12.
Yeah, I needed a job, and I went in and talked to your dad, and he's like, "Come back to me on Wednesday." I came in on. Come back to me on Monday. Let me think. Came back on Monday, and he's like, "No, good. Got Justin back. You were back." Like, nah, I got Justin. We're pretty good right now. All right.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I didn't get paid though. Man, I was hustling. I'd do inventory. I would do orders. I'd sell stuff. I didn't get paid. My dad's like, I take care of your bikes. You're good.
Yeah.
I had to learn the hard way. Yeah, I never got paid for that. And I was the shop brat.
Oh yeah.
Polishing bikes, doing everything. I had to help him blow out a two-stroke exhaust. I'm pretty sure there's child labor laws.
I don't know. I think you're more like shop slut.
Pretty much,
Not
yeah.
the shop.
No child should ever assist in blowing out a two-stroke pipe. You know what you have to do?
Oh,
you got to cap off one end.
Oh, to get the dent out.
To get the dent out of like the expansion chamber.
When I always broke Dad's pipes, I would smash them. That's what I do. They're never.
Can we get his mic up just a smidge? I think they're having a hard time hearing his.
Is it too far away?
We're a little closer, but we'll try that out.
I don't think so, Dad. I don't think he fired you.
So, where was I going? Oh yeah, blowing out two-stroke exhaust.
Yeah.
So basically, what you do, you cap off one end, and then you take the other end. You put this special fitting on.
Yeah, it's like an air nozzle.
It's an air nozzle. Let's go ahead and hit 100 psi, and then torch it red hot.
Yeah, I never had to do that.
Once in a blue moon, it blows the cap off, and it's like a rocket. Dink, 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 dink around the shop.
I never had to do that. Like I said, I always smashed the pipes to where he just replaced them. So, but yeah, the first 252 stroke that I rode was the 98 CR 250 that Dad had, and that bike was so much fun. I wish I could find another one. But when I turned 18, I came home to go riding one weekend, and I was like, "Hey, where's the bike?" And Dad's like, "You're 18, go buy your own." There was a new quad in the garage for my mom.
Ooh.
So I was like, "All right." So
hey, that's live.
Saved up some cash and got that KX and broke my leg. So, but
yeah, so we've been riding together, known each other for a while now.
For a long time.
You've been in the scene a bit. You helped me prepare for an MMA fight.
Yep, that was fun.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Good way to get into some shape, though.
Have a guy, what was I 80 pounds heavier than you at the time?
Dude, you're the best wrestling partner in the world because I would think I got something on you, and you literally sometimes just lift me. Like, dang it!
What was that? We were wrestling in. I had you in the mountain position. You were all wrapped up around me, and I just squatted you. I just stood up.
happened a couple times, dude. I'd like try to get like a rear naked or something. You just like pick me up and like move me. Like, dang it, this is hard.
Well, I mean, disclosure, I do have some level 1 defensive tactics training from previous jobs that I've had. So that and I was proficient in it when you were doing the MMA stuff. So now I'm not very proficient in it at all. I just do a couple arm bars and some goosenecks and stuff on my kid Jack, and he's just used to it now. That anytime I grab his arm, he just gives it to me and lets me do it. And he's like, "All right, just leave me alone, Dad. Come on, kid, give me some resistance." But no,
That was fun.
yeah, it was fun. Are you gonna do another one?
I've had a few people ask me that. I would like to do another one. The problem is it takes time, and it's something I don't have a lot of. Like, I hardly have time to even hit the gym.
Yeah.
Much less actually put in a real, like, put in some real MMA training. Much less a real camp. Because, like, when you're doing a camp for a fight, you're going all out.
Well, you were telling me when I was helping you. I mean, I was only able to help you every couple weeks or every other week, a couple nights a week. But you were doing all kinds of other stuff. Weren't you doing a gym in Portland also?
I was doing jujitsu, wrestling with you. I was bringing in a few private guys for some training. And then I had a regular boxing instructor I would go to at least 3 times a week.
Yeah.
On top of 6 days a week in the gym just for workouts and cardio and all that. Dude, battle ropes suck. Real quick, guys. First time doing battle ropes. Those suck. I never really realized. I was all thinking like, yeah, ropes, I can see it. Big heavy ropes. Yeah, that's a good workout. 30 seconds in, you're like, oh, screw this.
Oh, yeah.
They just blast your arms.
Oh, yeah. Your arms, your shoulders. And if you're not doing it right, your whole body hurts.
And then let's see, some of the other ones I learned. Standing sit-ups. Yeah, through that. So basically someone has to hold your legs and you sit up and then you have to burst up, drop down to your butt and then back down.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like
a burpee, but not really a burpee.
I was just gonna say some kind of burpee type thing. Dude, those suck too.
Burpees suck.
Well, burpees suck. This sucked. Pretty much all the things you have to do to train sucks. And then months of training, a busted rib, broken toe, get punched in the face over and over and over and over and over and over, and then my fight was less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that went through my mind. I was like, all that training.
Would you train for what, 9 months?
No, it was 5 months.
5 months?
I think 5 months for it, yeah. And kind of figuring out as I go, and yeah, I mean that wasn't like the full camp, but that's like how much I was really training. I'm like, all right, this is my focus. Let's go. And then like all that for like less than 2 minutes.
It was a pretty good fight though.
For me.
Yeah, for you, but for the other guy, it wasn't.
Yeah, it went pretty well for me. I came out of that thing without a scratch, which is rare. I know that's not going to happen a second time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you went in and didn't do the whole dance around thing and feel each other out, and you just went in and attacked him, and I don't think he was ready for it. And like less than 2 minutes, he was on the ground, and they called the fight.
To be fair, it wasn't my game plan either.
No,
I was walking into the cage, and one of my coaches like, "Hey, forget everything you've learned. He's a brawler. This is now a street fight. Just go run and hit him." And he's like, "When you hit him hard." Like, wait a second, what?
Yeah.
He's like, "Forget everything you've trained for."
Don't
tell me that as I go into the cage, dude. What? Hey, credit, it worked, but I had a small panic moment. I was all super calm, good to go. When he tells me that, like, wait, what? We're doing what? Don't tell me this now.
Don't tell me this now.
What happened to game plans?
Yeah, there's no game plan.
Yeah, there was no game plan. By the time the bell rang and like go, there was zero game plan. He said, just go hit him, and when you hit him hard. Okay.
Yeah, I got hit once in some training that I was doing before that, and I didn't like to get hit. And the guy was a little bit shorter than me, and he hit me straight in the throat, and it hurt. Like, I mean, we had headgear and big gloves and stuff on because it was just training. They didn't want anybody to get hurt. And he hit me straight in the throat, just like, because I'm like a whole head taller than he is, and he just straight to the throat, and I had to take a step back and cough and get my breath back, and then kind of made me mad because I'd never really been hit before. I'm not a fighter, and so I'd never really been hit before. And after our 2-minute round was done, he was like, "You hit really hard." I'm like, "Yeah, that hurt my throat. I didn't like getting hit." And he's like, "Yeah, if we didn't have the gloves on, I'd probably be knocked out." He's like, "You hit really hard." I'm like, "Okay, I don't plan on ever hitting anybody, but thanks, I guess."
Good to know, right?
Yeah, good to know.
So, just out of curiosity, this is something that gets brought up a lot. Let's compare motocross MMA for a moment. You got to see some of like what the training for MMA is. I've got to see a lot of guys training. If you were to take a local amateur fighter, a local amateur, say intermediate race, who do you think's the better athlete, in better shape?
I'd say it's kind of a draw because you have, if you think about an MMA fight and then you think about a motocross race, it's a quick burst of adrenaline and endurance. You have your off the start, and when the bell rings off the start, you go hard for that first lap. You go hard for that first round to set your dominance. Out in the first lap, you're out in the lead, or if you're trying to get to the lead, because everybody always wants to win. So if you're trying to get to the front, you're making aggressive moves. If you're in a fight, you're making aggressive fights. You're making aggressive punches. You're being aggressive. So, but probably long-term endurance, probably an MMA fighter, because most of our motors around here are 5-6 laps.
Which, yeah, I'd say the average moto is 8 to 10 minutes for a big fight. But MMA fights for amateur, they're 3-minute rounds.
Oh, okay.
So 9 minutes. Actually, the more I've thought about this, more is like they're actually probably pretty similar. And I'm starting to wonder if MMA is maybe not a good cross training for moto. Just don't go do it a fight if you don't want, but just the training, because dude, some of those guys in MMA gyms, they go hard and they do a lot of different workouts, and then you really see like a lot of people training for moto do the very basic bicycle, running, light curls.
Yeah, I do. I haven't been going, and I haven't gone in like 4 weeks, but I go to a kind of like a CrossFit type gym, and because I don't like the normal just running. It hurts to run because I got that titanium rod in my leg. It hurts to run. I had a trainer a few years ago that said that I'm the worst runner he's ever seen, that my running muscles have never developed. So don't ever run.
Well, that's fine. There's other things to do.
Yeah. So he's like, just don't run. And so I do the CrossFit stuff. And just because every time you go in there, it's something different. It's like circuit training, CrossFit circuit training. You flip tires, you do ropes, you do box jumps, burpees, jumping jacks. Stuff. And you'll
box jumps is one thing I thought that would probably have a lot of benefit. You do a lot with your leg. Mm-hmm. What happens when you start getting tired? You sit down more.
Yeah.
Box jumps, good way, I think, to build up that endurance without mass.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you think about it, you're doing a lot. Anytime you're riding, land off a jump, take off a jump, stand up from a corner, sit down into a corner, like we were doing for the riding clinic. We were telling the kids, stand up, going into the corner, sit down into the pocket of the seat right next to the gas cap. If you think about it, you're probably doing 100 squats a lap, and that's probably on the light side.
Yeah.
And then you throw in your push-ups to it, or hanging onto the bars and everything. So, it's a full, motocross is a full body workout. And if you do CrossFit, it's a full body workout.
Have you seen my wrist trainer?
Oh, what's that? Huh. Interesting.
Try that sucker out. It's a little hard to get your hand in, but it's kind of cool. Opposite way.
Opposite way, like that.
No, it goes, there you go.
Huh.
Do reps of 25 with that. Oh man, your wrists go numb.
That's interesting. It's kind of like a new version of a squishy ball, like one of those stress balls.
Did you ever try one of those gyro ones? You get the gyro going, and you have to. I've thought about bringing those back, because those are popular for a while and they kind of died away. But that will get your forearms pumped. And it's like, man, they don't really sell them for moto anymore. They used to buy them. You used to be able to buy them with motocross grip attached to them.
Yeah,
and it was a great way to really just work the forearms.
Yeah, I used to drive to Longview for work, and I had a squishy ball, and I would just, from Patton Parkway all the way to Longview, 45-minute drive all the way to work. I just squish the squishy ball all the way to work.
I'll do it, yeah.
So, but that's when I was back riding the DRZ 400. The infamous DRZ 400.
That thing was famous.
It's still alive in Idaho. Last I heard, it's a dual sport bike in Idaho.
How many 24-hour races did that thing do?
Steve Corey won one race on it, and I think it's been there like 3.
He won the Ironman 24-hour at Starvation Ridge.
Yeah.
On a DRZ 400.
On a DRZ 400. Yeah. And it was part of the Pro Caliber team that let's see, it was Guy Tao, Joey Lancaster, Jason Gilcrease, Jason Matheny, and I think Cerruti was on it too. Anthony Cerruti.
Oh yeah, I think he was.
I think they were all on that team, and Jason Gilcrease knocked the starter off the top of the motor. And the DRZ doesn't have a Kickstarter, and he said he was railing a corner and didn't even realize it, and it had a huge like Works Connection skid plate on it, and Jason ended up hitting a rock and it knocked the top of the starter off. He killed it going into the next corner and heard that it obviously didn't start, so we ran back, and when we got the bike back, the starter, nothing else was wrong with it. The starter was just knocked off the top of the motor. So, I mean, those guys were hauling. Guy Tao was so mad because they got protested because when Jason ran back, he just ran straight through. And so that lap didn't count, so technically they're a lap down, and then they got protested because they were so much faster than everybody else. Guy Tao was mad and threw down the fastest lap I'd ever seen anybody do out there. He did like a 40-minute lap. He was so mad. It was so funny. He came back and he's like, Aaron, all I need when I come back is new gloves, and I want you to fill my bike up. That's it. I'm going for 2 laps in a row. Okay, guy. Sure. I wasn't even ready for him when he came in, because I was just pitting for him.
Yeah.
I wasn't even ready for him when he came in. He was on fire. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be a fire team. Well, that would be a fire team for the 30 plus class, but
yeah, for 30 plus class. When Dad put that team together, when we were all working at Pro Caliber, he just did it for fun and wanted to see what a bunch of motocross guys would do out at a 24-hour race. He just wanted to see what they would do, and he built a kick butt CRF 450X and put all the Baja Lights kit on it and had a bunch of suspension done to it, had a pipe and everything. And every single one of the guys wanted to ride the DRZ because they had the factory RG3 suspension on it. I'm sure Dad's told the story. It had the factory RG3 suspension on it.
Oh, he told us the whole story.
Yeah,
that was a wild. He had some wild different builds going on. Your dad has unique taste. He was just on the phone before we were starting this thing talking about his new TM. Like, yeah, dude, he's got something weird. I like it though. I can appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, and growing up, I mean, the deal with my dad was that I needed to, if I wanted to ride, I had to work on the bikes. So, I mean, that's what I did. I mean, the only thing I really couldn't do is rebuild a whole motor and do suspension, and he helped me on that stuff. But like full racer pack, we used to call them racer packs, where we grease the steering head, all the linkage, wheel bearings, lube everything, change oil. You know, we would do a lot of those. When I was working at Pro Caliber, I was the PDI guy. I worked there for about 7 years. I built all the brand new bikes, and we racer packed all the dirt bikes. We greased all the linkage, tore them all the way down from the factory, because in the factory they don't have any grease in them. So we would I'd line them all up and go down the line and grease them all, so they basically be race ready.
That sounds like a blast. Hey, at least you don't have to take off any like rusted bolts or anything.
Exactly. They were
taking apart
brand
a new
new
bike actually doesn't sound that bad.
No, it wasn't.
3, 5, 8 years in, it's not so fun.
Well, I had it set up there at Pro Caliber that it was super easy to the work area that I had was big enough that I could have a whole bunch of that I could have a whole bunch
once in a while I went.
that I could have a whole bunch of them lined up, and I could crank out 10 bikes in a day. You know, it just
nice.
do the rears of all of them, because they were already, you know, they don't come with the front tire on them, they come with the rear tire on them. You know, they don't, the whole front end's off the bike already. So when you just drop the forks out of the steering head, and you take the steering head out and throw some grease in there and put it all back together. So
yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Now let me ask you this: how important do you think it is, 2019, for local Joe Schmo amateur racer. Okay, you can name whoever you want, non-pro, rides a bit though. You have a new bike.
I ride a 2016 YZ 450. I don't have a new bike.
This is something I've been preaching about. I love to get other people's insight because I'm not Mr. Know-It-All, though I can act it. But I don't think we've seen such huge leaps in technology that the local rider needs a new bike. Which, by the way, new bikes are rad. They're fun. If you can afford a new bike, by all means,
go for it.
They're not roasted. They're not been torn down multiple times, and have weird standard bolts stuck back in the linkage or anything. Like the suspension's fresh. They're nice. However, you don't need that to win a local junior race. Intermediate. No. Like you name it, I think you can take a 2008 YZF 250 and still have just as much fun.
Yeah.
Trick it out with fastaway pegs, cool plastics and graphics from JJW Designs, or Fusion. Okay. And get a few goodies, apply triple clamps, some good bars and stuff, and still go out and have just as much fun and speed just as fast. I don't think that we've seen such huge technological leap that it's necessary. It's cool.
Yeah, I rode a 2006 CRF 450 from about 2009 to 2014 when I sold it. And then I bought a new 2016 and when the 17s were coming out. So just because I got a good deal down at Pro Caliber. And I've been riding that. I put a desert tank on it because I don't ride just moto. One of my favorite places to ride is China Hat. I love to go out to China Hat and ride. I mean, if you want some good technical riding, you can go to China Hat. Good save. If you want to go to China Hat, you can ride 5th gear, 6th gear, wide open stuff that's just flat ground, or you can go find some 1st gear technical stuff where you're riding over lava rocks. I mean, and there's been times that I've been over there where I've ridden in dust down at the bottom and snow at the top.
Oh, I love it, dude. I've done the exact same thing. I love that place. We got to make a trip this fall.
Let's go.
We need to make a Moto Monday. Area, what was it, 2510?
Yeah, Camp 2 2510 road.
Yeah, we need to go there, Moto Monday camping trip for a weekend, and just go mobs those trails.
It's so much fun. And what we do is we get a grease pen. And, well, you can't really go when it's dusty. When it's dusty, we get a grease pen. We even do it when it's not dusty. Get a grease pen, and we map out where we're going for the ride. And then everything's marked on trail markers out there. And you just like you leave out a 2510, you leave out the 60 trail. When you get to the next trail, you either decide if you're going to hang a left or hang a right. You ride it on your front fender with a grease pen. So you're 60 straight. Next one's a 10 trail, 10 to the left. And so you guys can just keep going. And if it's dusty, you do the whole wait for the next person. That way nobody goes down and everything. But there's a time I went out there with my buddy John, and we were literally banging bars through every single corner because there was no dust. It was basically just us out there. And we were slamming bars in every corner. We were having so much fun. I mean, so much fun riding out there. And you can do that, It just
I love that place. Although I've had some gnarly crashes. Like I was actually borrowing a Vor 530. Okay,
Wilkie's got one of those probably.
Huh? Oh, Wilkie's got one, guaranteed. He's one of the few people in the world that still's got one. Hey, by the way, Wilkie, if you want some parts, I got a whole box of parts from. Don't ask me why. But anyway, so I was mobbing. I'm borrowing this one. It's like a full enduro model, soft suspension, and it's street legal. Having fun though. That bike was fun. Going through 4th, 5th gear through the whoops. You know the whoops.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're going in through like a shaded section where I couldn't see very well. Because in and out of the sun, some trees, some of the few trees out there.
The few trees.
One of the whoops just so happened to have that good old lava rock at the top, and that's what caused it. And it was a big one. And I see a big one coming. Like I'm gonna double it. Because every once in a while, I like kind of give it a nice little G out and I like double.
Yeah, you can find some sort of rhythm through them.
Yeah, and so it'd be really fun once in a while to double them or just go balls to the wall and try to triple. I was having a blast. This bike is cool. I went from a 125 to a 530. And I'm like, sweet. I blew up my 125. That's why I was borrowing the bike. Well, right at the top was about a 6-inch square edge lava rock. I hit that sucker and it was instant on the front fender. Flip the next whoop, and I'm literally sucking the rear fender up into my butt. I'm so far back, trying not to flip over. And I do the death wobble. Oh, we're going down, and just right to my face. Kind of what I did like on my pit bike, except I was younger and I actually got up
and walked away. And
oh man, I biffed it so hard. I saw the bike cartwheel like I borrowed that bike. It's not my bike. It's my dad's business partner. Oh, unscathed. The bike was unscathed.
That says he has a vor.
So, of course, Steve Wilkerson has a vor. Of course he does. Wilkie surpasses all of us on his weird bike.
Yes, he has. He and my dad, they trade the weirdest bikes. Like, I don't know where they find these bikes. Like, Dad travels a lot for work, and they just find all these bikes just random places. Just what is that? You know, like, I don't know.
Would you like to say something? You have not said a word.
Muted.
So
I'm muted.
Intern Joe is just chilling today. Hey, I like the weird bikes, man. I grew up. You knew my dad.
Oh yeah.
I grew up on the weird stuff.
Yeah.
Not many people will you run into other than Steve Wilkerson. You can say that they have had or ridden Cannondale.
Yep.
Gas, TM, Vertimati, or Husaberg. I ever find my Husaberg, I will literally buy it back, just burn it. I hated that. There's an old Rory Sullivan 470 built by Fletch Trick, built to the hill. It was so stupid fast, but it would rattle. It rattled worse than a KX500. It would literally rattle the steering stem nut off.
You didn't say ATK.
I do not believe in that church. Okay? I am not Mormon. I will not buy an ATK. No, just seriously, I don't own an ATK because they yet to really figure out how to build a good bike.
Yeah, what's with that counter shaft brake? That was weird.
They come up with some weird stuff, dude. They're literally one step behind Harley, and that's pretty bad.
The AMF Harleys,
dude.
The
I still
bowling
have a
alley
shirt that says, "If Harley made a plane, would you fly in it?" No, I'd lose its oil halfway through the trip. Like, of course you wouldn't fly in it. Like, no, ATK has to be one of the worst built bikes of all time. I appreciate them being different. I appreciate it, and I mean, it's cool that they're around. They do their thing, but nah.
Yeah,
I'm not down.
Yeah, I can't wait to ride that new TM that Dad has. I don't know what his work schedule is, but I think he's gonna be missing it one of these nights this week. So I want to ride it because it's got a plate on it, and I'm gonna be traveling back and forth for work. So I think Germantown Road on a 144 2-stroke will be a lot of fun.
We're gonna have to make a Moto Monday trip out to Bend. Are you down? Just a trail ride, man.
Trail ride.
Joe's down. Do you have a bike? Do we have to get you one?
Got one, but it's gonna be for sale when I get it together.
Is this gonna be a Yamaha or a Honda? Yamaha.
Depends what time of the year.
Okay.
You'll
have a bike though. If need be, I have a TTR 125.
After Monster Cup, I'll have a Honda for a little bit.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and in October, mid-October. When is Monster Cup? Was it October? October sometime.
You see on top of it, I am right now.
Yeah, October's a good time to go to China Hat because you can get some rain over there, and you need rain over there to ride.
I grew up at Rainier Beach. So.
Rainier Beach, may it
rest in peace. Oh, Rainier Beach.
Okay, real quick. Did you guys ever ride there when they had been really digging out that one like center area? They've been taking all the sand out.
The bowl?
Yeah, the bowl.
Yeah.
I got a story about that. My dad will back this up. I didn't see it. He was following someone, but they were all ripping up the top. So it was like a tall, sandy area, but for whatever reason, yeah, it dropped way down. And they had this one area where they kept pulling sand out. So it was pretty much a cliff.
Yeah, and it was like a horseshoe.
Some people decided it'd be fun to try to build up lips and jump up top. Or the quad guys would try to hill climb it. And they do it 500 times until they kind of beat a path in. Well, my dad and a group of guys were just mobbing up top. And what happens when you have a guy who's never been there before?
It goes off a bit.
and he
goes
decides
off
to
top.
deviate slightly off where they're going.
It's a
Oh,
long ways down.
he dropped all the way to the bottom and just stuck. Did not, it just stuck. Everyone thought he was dead. Right? You've been there.
Yeah.
You know that drop. That is a
Uh-huh.
drop.
Yeah.
And they're like telling the story like, real no. Just full send just drops all the way to the bottom.
Rainier Beach was cool. If you wanted to go practice your whoops, you could just
Yeah.
go run. You could just
Yes.
whoops from one end to the other. You could just.
I like the track along the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the sand
Rainier
berms
Beach
and
was a
all that.
blast, and now
Yeah.
what is it, like a cement plant?
Something
Are they
like
making
that.
Sheetrock.
bricks?
Sheetrock.
Is it
cement.
sheetrock? Yeah,
Something
the
like
whole
that.
thing is just one big.
I
plant.
drove out there like I think it was 10 years ago. I was heading somewhere for work, and I went into the old part where I used to turn in. Was at the end of the road where it made a hard left, right, go up over the tracks
Yeah.
there, and the sand track was to your left. Yeah, it was.
Ryan Abrigo tried calling me. Apparently, he forgot there's Moto Monday. Everyone go comment on Ryan Abrigo's Facebook and tell him Moto Monday's going on. I miss Rainier Beach. That was fun.
Me too.
But you know what? Bend is still around. That is one place I've still loved 20 years later.
Yeah, I went out there one time with my buddy Dustin LaFave and his dad.
Good old
And-
Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin. He's finally recovered from his big wreck that he had last year. He lost he had major internal bleeding. He crashed at Cadillac Ranch on just some stupid little double and went to the hospital, and the hospital they just scanned his brain and said, yep, you got a small concussion, and then sent him some painkillers and sent him home. He, like, day and a half, 2 days later, he was basically bleeding internally and almost died.
Ooh.
So he was parked for about a year. So he's finally starting to ride again. I spent what I call motocross week. You had your Mountain View thing before
Yep.
the national, and then PIR, and then the national. I went to PIR and the national with him and his girlfriend Ashley. So
Oh my.
Really.
I maxed out. Sorry. Yeah, I ran into him fairly recently out at Riverdale. I think it was his first ride back.
Yeah.
Yeah, his first ride back. I ran into him out there. I was out mobbing my pit bikes.
yeah, he and I don't know. I was living in Battleground at the time, and we went out to China Hat and just had a blast. That place is so much fun.
We need to make this happen. A Moto Monday China Hat trip after they've got a little rain.
Yeah, you
Let's
got to
get
go
a
after
little
that.
rain going on.
It'd be like October.
I'm down, dude. That'd be so much fun. We introduce Reese to China Hat. Oh yeah, let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the riding clinic for a minute. We
Okay.
haven't even talked about that.
No.
We just literally did that 2 days ago.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was fun. You know, how many have we done now? 3, 4, something like that. I always get a little bit of hate mail right before or after, and it's kind of funny because, and it's always anonymous. Maybe it could be the same person every time. I don't know, but we don't do a ton of them, and we're doing this to help out riders. Do you think any of the riders that really got the most out of our clinic are people who would go once a month to a full, I don't know, name a trainer, a launch, a week,
Yeah,
any of those guys? Like, no, they're not. They're new, and we had a decently broad range of skill levels, but
Yeah.
still no one like intermediate, super fast. But
No.
you know, I think everybody who went to this got something out of it, and if we're all willing to pitch in our time, we're helping the community.
yeah. I mean, and the thing about the riding clinics that we've put on, that we've done, that mainly you and I just like, hey, I'll come help. I'm not a pro. I'm not a trainer. I'm not anything. I've been riding motorcycles basically my whole life. It's what I do. I tried all the other sports, and I always came back to motorcycles. And I just pass on the information that my dad's taught me. I've gone to a couple classes, and I went to Scott Steffi class when I was riding 80s, when we lived up in the Skagit Valley. I mean, and when I ran into Scott at the Old Timer National, I told him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I remember you. You looped out over the big tabletop for a big double." And so, but I mean, and I still use stuff that he taught me, and that was the stuff that I was just basically passing on the information that I have to mainly the kids on the 50s and the 60s and the 85s that we were working with, even my son that took the class. I mean, and even with the couple of the people that we had on the bigger bikes in the afternoon, we only had a couple people show up. But I mean, the little kids, they all just like to go. They just like to go, and like we were talking, we were telling the kids, jump for show, corner for dough. Well, in order to corner for dough, you got to be able to stop for the corner. A lot of what we work on is just the braking. I mean, yeah, we work.
Small change in your habits will make the hugest difference in the world. 2 fingers on the clutch instead of 4 fingers.
Yes.
Practice that 100 times until it becomes a habit. It'll make such a big difference. It's just those little things. And I felt like riders, especially this one, definitely got a lot out of it. Mm-hmm. We had some riders with some bad habits.
Yeah.
And we were showing them how to work on those. And everyone still had fun. I mean, we're not pros at this. Mm-mm. We're not pros.
No,
but I felt like everyone had fun. They got something out of it. And we even got someone that commented that his kid got his best ever finish right afterwards. Wasn't it the next day?
Yeah, it was the next day at the Pac West race or something like that.
Yeah, he went to the Pac West race and had his best finish ever. Yeah, and that's cool to see, man.
The whole reason I do that is the kid had a huge smile on his face, and he was holding a second place trophy or plaque or whatever. And that's the whole reason we do it, And my son Jack, I mean, he started riding. I took him riding when he was 3. I held on to his brother's P-Dub for a few years. He turned 3. All right, here you go. I started at 3. Let's get you riding. He literally rode the P-Dub 100 yards, stopped, put the bike on the ground, and walked back and said, "I don't want to do this." Okay, but you got to push the bike back, So we pushed the bike back, and he didn't ride till he was 10. He turned 12 in October, and he practiced on the KLX 110 that I have, and we just started in the backyard. We actually started in my parents' backyard, and they have a really small backyard, and we just worked on braking and going in a circle, and that's pretty much all we did with the kids at the riding clinic is just worked on braking and going in a circle.
Yeah.
And I can understand people getting mad about, us putting on a free riding clinic and this and that. But
I think it's silly because we're not taking money from anyone.
I agree. Yeah.
Honestly, and I don't know, and it could be someone who's not even a trainer. Who knows? It's anonymous stuff, and I'm not overly concerned. It's just it's silly. But most trainers that I know or have seen have always been like, "That's rad, man." I mean, we don't do it all the time. We do it a few here and there. It's really geared to newer people. I want to see riders be safer on their bike, feel more comfortable on their bike and confident. And I want them to carry that confidence over to lining up on the starting gate more often. I want people to be riding confident and safe and going out and doing races. I'm a race promoter. I want to see more people riding. I want to see more people racing. And even if I wasn't a race promoter, I still work within this industry, and I work in it by choice because I enjoy the sport. So naturally, I want to see the sport do well. And so I think it's programs like this is how you get people into racing.
Exactly. They don't, you go out and Dan out there at Riverdale, it's $30 to ride, 4 different tracks?
Yeah.
And then there's even trails out there if you know how to loop them together. You can ride trails. You got 4 different tracks. It's $30. You can ride all day. They do a good job watering. The water truck's constantly going, and so if you can go out and you can get a free riding clinic for people that like myself and you that have been riding our whole lives, and we just pass on the information that we've learned.
Yeah. We've been doing this a long time, and we've learned a lot of this kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that hard to just work on some of what we think of as basics with these guys, Or we got the one guy who's literally never started his bike.
Yes.
I want a gold star because I thought for sure, I know there's going to be an ambulance. He's going to whiskey throttle a YZ250. When I started, I'm like, a bit of smoke. Like, oh, it's starting to run pretty crisp now. dang it. I'd almost rather just start bogging down. I mean, you should really mix your fuel like 20-1 here, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you don't realize what you're getting into, but we worked with them. Dude, okay, so you left when I was starting to work with him, and dude, he didn't know how to use the clutch. He didn't know where the rear brake was. I mean, he's new. He's coming from riding mountain bikes.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up with a mountain bike helmet.
Yeah, he had a mountain bike helmet. He's from the mountain bike world. I don't know how he ended up with the bike. It was a decent bike. And he's just like, I got to figure out how to ride this thing. So I was told, someone at PIR said to come here. So, okay. I gave him a warning, like, I'm going to do everything I can so you don't die.
Yeah.
But it might happen.
Yeah.
When the first time he took off, I made sure he's pointed away from the bike. And he, like, bikes or cars or trucks or trailers. And like, he's got it. He did a few loops, came back, killed it. You know, okay.
Yeah.
We kept working on it. And, like, he progressed. And we took him over the dirt. And he went over on that. And by the time he's done, I'm like, holy crap, he's doing laps on the track. Right. And, dude, he was having a blast. And I'm like, and he came over and he said thank you and everything. I'm like, dude, I'm just stoked that you're out on a dirt bike and you're having a good, like, you got a smile on your face. You're having a good time now. Yeah. And I know you're probably going to come back and do this again. He's like, yeah. So yeah, that was cool to see. That guy made my day.
Yeah. Yeah. No, stuff like that is cool. Cause I saw him when he pulled up, he parked next to my son and I when we were loading up, and I saw him unload and I was like, huh, why is he pushing his bike over there? And then when I realized, oh, he's a legit beginner.
He had no idea even how to start it, like what a Kickstarter does or anything. So that's the beginner of all beginners. But by the end of the day, he knew how to turn the gas on, he knew how to start it, he knew about the choke. He figured it all out. And props to him for being semi-intelligent. That we threw a lot of information at him, like in a hurry.
Yeah,
and he only because he missed the majority of the class.
I mean, we'd already done the first hour and a half of the big bike class.
Yeah, the big bike riders are about tired and stuff. So he shows up and like, well, we got a bit before we have to do the awards, which quick shout out to UFMX and Joe and the McIntyre family, to everyone who helped out with that. That was a lot on my plate, and I really appreciate you guys coming out and supporting me, Riverdale, and all of the Winter MX riders. That was really awesome. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, the McIntyres especially, because they had no idea what they're getting into. We just threw them into the fire, and they all helped out, and that was a huge help, and I appreciate it, guys.
That's what they get for hanging out.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you hang out with us. Sometimes you see this kind of stuff go down. But yeah, to see that guy though, by the end of the day, as I'm leaving to go do the awards party, he's clicking off laps, and he moved off of the small track over onto where they do the vintage racing.
Mm-hmm.
He just like, I'm done with this one. I'm gonna hop on this, and I'm watching him go over the jumps. Like, he's got it. I mean, he's still learning it, but like, he's got it from not even knowing how to start the bike. He's actually now clicking off laps.
Was he shifting and everything?
Yeah, that was the last thing I showed him, is how to shift as you're moving.
Wow.
And like, all right, so because I was like, never touch first, and like till later. Let's start always in second. First gear on a YZ250, it'll flip you on your tail so fast. So like, let's just start in second. And he got the feet, not the clutch, pretty dialed. I was like, all right, so this is how it works. And it took him a few laps to figure it out. But once he started getting the shifting, that was the last thing I was really able to teach him. Like, okay, so now you know. And I explained to him how you have to do it. I was like, this is not a car. You have to shift actually a lot more.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's like, oh, that's kind of a pain. It is what it is. But as he was going, I could hear it click third, like, holy crap, he's getting it figured out. Look at that. And he's going around the track like, we got another rider. We got another rider now.
One more. There you go.
And he was having a blast. Like, see, it's fun.
Yeah, it's like my son Jack, when we asked the little kids from the morning session, what did they learn? And a lot of them were
you notice how a lot of the kids, like, I felt better in the corners?
Yeah.
Corners would seem to be something that we're bringing up.
Yeah, especially back to what I was talking about, my son Jack. He's really nervous about shifting, and he wants to ride first gear in all the corners and everything. And I told him, no, first gear is for the parking lot only, and second gear, that's where you need to be. And before he fell asleep in the truck on the way home, I mean, he was out before we hit Castle Rock, but he was like, that was fun. I was like, sweet, now we got to go home and clean air filters. Even though we didn't. But that was just like I just like seeing the kids at the end of the time, at the end of the day, like super excited to keep riding their dirt bikes, because I mean, you get the mini dads that are out there, like that thing you posted about Loretta's and the P Dubs. I mean, like, that takes the fun out of it.
Oh, we're talking about that next week. That's going to be the hot topic, guys. I know a few of you saw that. We're going to be talking about Pee-wees and big bores and high compression pistons and Loretta Lynn's next week. Oh, we're diving right into it. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have intern Joe explaining what the difference is between a 60 kit and a high compression piston and a stock legal bike. Can you do that, Joe? Can you do that for us?
Thanks.
You can do that? Okay. We're going to have some fun. Dude, I'm looking forward to this. This is good stuff. Just because it doesn't matter, for one.
Yeah.
You guys are getting all worked up over P-dubs. Guarantee you, I would bet every dollar that I have ever owned in my life, what you do in the PW class will not affect where you are in 10, 15 years at all. You're doing it for fun.
Yeah.
We're doing it for fun.
My oldest son could rail a P-dub. He's now 6'1", 260 pounds, and has college scholarships for football.
It's P-dubs, man. It's P-dubs. It doesn't matter. You're doing this for fun. Bonding with your kid. Having a good time. It's a PW50. It's the slowest 50 made. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if they can keep that throttle pin right on.
Yeah.
So, but people get so worked up. Like, it doesn't really matter. But it can be fun to debate all the different kind of things. And there's so many mods for PW. So it's pretty easy. I mean, next to pit bikes, it's one of the most popular bikes for mods. Like, you can get hog wild with some stuff.
I never had to do that because, my kids never, we only ride motorcycles for fun. I took the same approach with my kids that my dad did with me, and it's for fun. Yeah, I've won some races. Yeah, I've been here, been there. I ride for fun. I ride for stress relief. I ride to go out and just get away. That's what I ride for. And showing these kids that you can still go out and have fun. You can, and when the parents are all standing around watching us talk to their kids, we start off the class with high fives. It's like, we're here for fun. We're here to teach your kids some other little cool stuff that we've learned over the time, but we're here to have fun. There's no reason to get mad. This is practice. This is not, you're not here to win practice. It's just for fun. We ride dirt bikes for fun.
Yes.
Yeah, my last couple of years of riding was practice tracks, go out to Longview, whatever. Just stress relief. You just take it all out on the track, and you go home fresh.
Yeah.
All out on the track. And it wasn't for trophies. It wasn't for nothing. It was just aggression. Get rid of aggression.
Look what I got, Joe. I'd like to thank the
I didn't get one of
UFMX
those. I wanted a 10th place.
for helping me out and helping me get a bike so that I could pick up this 30-plus expert championship trophy.
Done on a Honda.
And I did it on a Honda. And I even did one race in a Santa suit and shoes. And I got the whole shot, and that was the scariest thing in the world. Because I was like, I'm just riding to say I participated, so I stay in the points. I got the whole shot. I'm like,
now what are you going to do?
Oh boy, here we go. And there's some fast boys in my class. Like, dang it, I'm too competitive. I got to go. And then it was like a lap and a half in. You're in shoes. You need to pull over. I yeah. Well, and I about racked myself through a double section. And I'm like, you're going to die. Pull. And I'm in a Santa suit. I'm not in riding gear. I am not in riding gear. I'm in a Santa suit.
That's like the one kid that was out there when we were doing the little kid practice. He was out riding in shorts and his boots. No other protective gear besides his helmet and gloves.
Okay, that's a little worse. At least I had long pants.
Yeah.
I had jeans and long pants.
Yeah.
So, but I was still in... Okay, they weren't real shoes. They're street bike shoes. They're not DCs or, Nike Frees. They're street bike shoes. But still, I was like... Because I didn't realize my moto was on the line, and they were all getting ready to go. And, I'm announcing, oh, crap. I just start chucking it to my bike, threw the helmet on, didn't even lace it, just ripped down to the start. As soon as I get to the start, lace it up, was putting on the gloves, and the guy's like, Justin, we got to go. I'm working on it.
Well, you're the one announcing, and you didn't realize that your moto was on the line. Don't you announce the motos?
No, I knew it was on the line. It didn't register. Oh yeah, you're racing 30 plus. It was one of those things I just had a lot on my mind, dealing with this, dealing with that, radio calls and stuff. Like, duh, Justin, you're on the line. Like, I wasn't even in the mindset of we're going racing. Like, dang it. But thanks to Paul Batterby missing around, because he was whooping my butt almost every moto. Yeah, I got me a championship trophy. Thanks to Paul for missing that round. Thanks, buddy. I love the 30 plus guys, because we can battle, bang bars, but we're really rarely just kamikazing or taking each other out. We're having fun, duking, of course, but like, we all know we have to work the next day. And we all can just high five and joke afterwards. Even when things get heated, we're all adults and we can all just like, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and that's what I like about the 30 plus class. And when I did the championship series for the Washougal in 2013, when I won that one, there was guys I was battling with every week, and we were battling hard. And then we'd come off the track and we were high-fiving. I mean, we were all gasping for air and everything, and we were all high-fiving and having a good time. We're like, all right, we'll see you next week or see you next moto. And that's the same thing with the old timer stuff.
The old timers.
There's
a few grouchy old men, but overall, dude, the old timers just have a good time. I like the vibes, hanging out with those dudes for a bit at Washougal this year. Like, everyone's just kind of smiling. Competitors who are just duking it out, banging bars, they're just, they're buddies. They're watching other motos together. Like, this is good vibes. This is good motocross right here.
It's so much fun. It's like, it's so much fun to go up there and do that, and I'm only 38 in 2 years. When I actually qualify for old timers at 40, I kind of want to do the whole series, because my dad will be 60 and he'll be able to ride the 60 class and I'll be able to ride the 40 class, and he can pay for gas.
Dude, there's a couple of those rounds that really throw me for a loop. I'm sorry, BC? Woo! And then, what is it, Montana?
Montana's one, and then there's Agassiz. There was Agassiz this weekend, and they have, they go Agassiz or BC, then Agassiz or something like that. It's a 2-week period, so a lot of times people stay in Canada for that week period, and get both races in.
Montana, let's just talk about that for real quick. We're going to have to shut this down in a minute. So, Montana should not exist. It is this giant chunk of land, and it's beautiful. By the way, I love to vacation there. But it's this giant chunk of land, and like, I swear, if you want gas, you drive a half hour. You want to go to a race? It's 6 hours. You want to go snowboarding? It's 9 hours. Like, it takes so long to get to anything. Like, you go to one place, like, oh man, we love to go snowboarding every weekend to this place. Like, oh yeah, cool. Like, what's it called? What's the snowboarding place everyone goes to? Whitefish.
Whitefish? I've never.
Whitefish. So you go to Missoula, and people are like, oh yeah, we go to Whitefish every weekend, and we go snowboarding. Sick snowboarding spot. Also a lot of KKK there. Little side fact. Really weird. I never saw any, but apparently there is.
Probably.
Some of the nicest people though, so maybe the KKK hide in the hills. I don't know. Really cool town. Problem is, people in Missoula, like, they make it sound like, for us, like, Vancouver, Portland folks, is to go to like Mount Hood. What takes us an hour?
Yeah, 2 hours, if that.
I mean, maybe from Battleground, it's still less than 2 hours.
Yeah,
trucking to Whitefish takes a hot minute. These people think a 4-hour drive is nothing. Dude, I was going to Whitefish. I was like, we're on Indian territory now. Yeah, it's okay. Just don't speed and don't look at anyone in the eye. What? Excuse me? Don't look anyone in the eye? Yeah, and if only get gas if you need to. Lovely. Okay. How long are we going to be in Indian territory? About 45 minutes. Damn it. Okay. And after
basically
a while,
take a nap.
Yeah. Dude, and then we get like in the middle of nowhere. Like, we're like, I don't even know how they got a road here. How is there a road here? This is God's country. No man has touched this, but somehow there's a road there. And then like, yeah, it's another 2 hours and you'll hit Whitefish. The hell? And you finally get there, and there's this just full town with all the convenience stores, the Fred Meyers, all the stuff. Like, I felt like passed through 2 nations to get here. Point being, with my rant, it's a long freaking drive to go hit the Montana round. And I got invited to this 2-stroke race out in Montana. I start like, okay, how far away? 13 hours? Dude. I don't like driving to Portland. It's 20 minutes away. Like 13 hours? I love you guys in Montana, you crazy ass ranchers, okay? But 13 hours?
Well, from here, I mean, how far is your commute for work?
I've taken my electric scooter.
Okay.
And I've ran it too.
Yeah. So I drive an hour to get to work.
I've ran to work.
You run to work. So,
Yes.
I mean, I don't mind driving.
That was my cardio training for a while for my fight. Run to work, run home. That sucked, but it worked.
After getting everything done for your graphics.
Yeah.
3 a.m. run home.
I'm trying to get away from that, bro. That one was a little rough. People at Riverdale, I'm sorry if I was out of it. Not only did I get basically no sleep, I took a cat nap at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or something like that. It was blurry. But then I apparently knocked my head too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it was a day.
When I hit you up, I'm like, yeah, I plan on being there at about 8:30. You're like, sweet, sounds good. I'll meet you there. What, you didn't show up till what, 9:20?
It was like 9:15. If they give me those 5 minutes, it was like 9:15. Dude, and I was rushing. Dude, I was here at 5:30 or 6 a.m. still making trophies, finishing the last things, and like, I forgot the banner. Go get the banner. And then, just like trying to throw everything in. So when people complain, oh, I had a rough 45-hour week, like, shh.
Shh, be quiet.
When I had to make the old timer shirts and my equipment breaks down,
Yeah.
I had to tear it apart and rewire it at 1 a.m. And I put in a 37-hour workday. Good chunk of that was repairing my equipment. And by the way, I'm not an electrician.
No.
That's actually something I'm really, really bad at. Well, the kill switch on that CR has killed me multiple times because I can't wire anything. And so I'm in here 1 a.m. trying to rewire something I've never taken apart so I can get shirts done. Yeah.
Is it the blue one or the yellow one?
Oh, it's one of the ones in the back, actually. If anyone wants me to wire anything, just don't.
Don't ask.
Ask Reese. Joe's probably savant at it. No?
No.
I don't like electrical
You don't? Okay.
wiring problems.
You're still probably far better than me. I'm horrible.
Yeah,
I'm only good at like 3 things, honestly.
I changed a light switch when I was living with some roommates, and we got what we thought was cool, the light up light switches, the little orange ones that glow. And I swapped mine out. Mine was cool, and then my roommate shocked the crap out of himself through house. We didn't turn off the breakers or anything, and he shocked himself through the house wiring. And it's like, wow, we should probably turn them off now.
I'm smart enough to know not to touch like
light stuff.
Yeah, light stuff. Like just don't touch.
Stuff,
oh, hey,
yeah.
wait. I say that except I put in these lights. I just put these like little LEDs in.
Why is that other bank now?
Well, I'll show you once we get off the podcast.
Oh,
which we're gonna have to wrap this up. We have now hit our 1 hour mark. Time to get rolling. Otherwise, I'm gonna just keep babbling about pit bikes and wiring and Cheetos. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Yeah, no problem. When are we doing the next clinic?
Well, we're gonna do one at Mountain View.
Okay.
The Hewitt said they'd like to do one out there before the season's over. So maybe near the end of the season, like round 4 or 5.
Okay.
I think we need to do a Saturday one.
Okay.
So I have had a lot of people ask that I missed this. When's the next one? So the Hewitt said they're down. So maybe do a next one out there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. My son Jack would like to do another one, and I want to get him on different tracks. He loves to ride Riverdale, but he's just starting, so and he's riding that 85 pretty good now. He was super pumped. He got to ride Washougal a couple weeks ago, and so or before the old timer race, he got to do that. So I think Mountain View would be a good one for him.
Yeah, I'll gotta confirm with them, then I'll announce the date.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna do one out there, and it'll be fun to mix it up, do a different track, you know.
Yeah, do a different track, and we can do some more braking. I'm all
And-
about braking.
Warm them up on the pit bike track.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Hopefully, I keep it on 2 wheels on my pit bike this time.
Yeah,
Let's leave it at home.
no grudge match races.
Dude, I was doing good too. I was in the lead. I was in the lead when I decided to launch off the front of my bike. So, you know, whatever. Well, Aaron, thanks for coming on, bro.
Yeah, no
Any final words of wisdom, shout outs, or you want to let people know how they can follow you on social media?
Nah, I'm good.
No.
Pretty quiet. So.
All right. Well, anyone watching this, I'm sure by now you know how to find me. Just Justin.Wharton on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I no longer have my grinder, so you won't be able to find me on there. And no, you will not find me on Tinder either. So whoever used my photo like a month or two ago, someone sent me a screenshot. They used one of my photos, and it's somebody else's photo, like after. I'm glad you think I'm sexy. You know what? I'll just say thank you. But on that note, we're going to get out of here. Thanks, folks. This has been Moto Monday number 101. We are not waxing anybody on this show, and probably never again. We are out of here.